Buenas, this is the You Live Where podcast. My name is Diego and I've been an expat for 10 years now. I feel that you could Google any city anywhere in the world and there'll be a guy there that can tell you what attorney to use, what the laws are, what grocery store to go to, so on. Give you the ROI on your investment and why you should invest into these countries, and they're great at it, but this is not that show. I want you to tell me what it was like on that roller coaster. I'm sure you'll tell me about the theme park. I'm sure we'll talk about the line, but how did that feel? What was that roller coaster ride like? So I'm going to be having conversations with expats, people who own homes overseas, or people who have been on the road for a very long time, and see if I can get to the root of what makes them do what they do so that I can provide that value to you. This week, we're talking to a couple of New Zealanders. They moved with their entire family, two teenage kids, to Nicaragua. So this is a cool one. Enjoy. Hey guys, welcome so much. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Thank you so much for coming. Flora, Todd. So tell me.
Kiwis.
Yeah, well, let's start there. Where are you guys from?
We're from Christchurch, New Zealand.
New Zealand?
So, the South Island of New Zealand, which is about a 13-hour flight to Houston, and then down from Houston here we actually came via El Salvador and then to Nicaragua.
That is a hike. That is literally, you can't go further until you start coming back.
And we bought our pet dog too. So.
Was that crazy, that flight? I mean, with packing up, bringing everything, how did that?
Well, we spread it over a couple of years.
Okay.
Selling up, and then we went gypsy lifing in New Zealand and little tiny house caravans.
So what was the why? Why did you decide to if you're in New Zealand, what was it like? I'm going to go and live in Nicaragua or anywhere. Why?
It's the next country below New Zealand in the phone register.
No, we wanted to
simple choice.
Expand our horizons and our children's horizons, and learn a culture and a language. And neither of us have done the Americas before, so I've done traveling in Europe and Asia and Africa. So it's Todd, and my daughter wanted to learn Spanish as well. So we thought, let's come to somewhere in Central America. And a friend of ours was living here and said it was great for the children and very comfortable.
Really safe.
And
good spot for children to be.
And not as hectic as Mexico, which we were thinking about going to.
Yep.
So she recommended it.
And wow, okay.
Out of they looked through Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, and said the pick of the bunch is Nicaragua.
So that's how you settled on Nicaragua.
So we went,
you had a friend
Nicaragua looks good. We'll settle there for a bit, and then this property we got showed this while we were in New Zealand, and thought of that project we could make a business out of, and so we bought it, and then arrived.
So how did coming from there to here? How did you come with a container? Did you ship all your stuff? How did that happen? You just got on a plane and went?
Each,
yeah. So we've packed all our home up and all our. So we were landscapers back in New Zealand, so we have a lot of tools and equipment that we packed away into shipping containers, and they're on a friend's farm, and there's two of them. And then we have some smaller vehicles, a bobcat and other things, and that's on the farm there too. And so that's waiting for us when we come back, if that happens.
Okay, so you have all your stuff storaged somewhere. You have somewhere safe.
The bulk of it, yeah.
Okay.
So we could go buy a new house back in New Zealand and reset up. So.
All right, okay. So coming here, it was just a suitcase?
Literally a suitcase. We'd bought this property already, and so it was just, we'll buy some clothes here, we'll buy some pots and pans, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Have you been finding everything you need?
Mostly, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Mostly,
we've contacted the expat community down in San Juan del Sur, because that's where our friend is living, and there is like a marketplace that you can get lots of bits off, and so we've housed all the rooms of beds from that place, and the kitchen has a lot of stuff from it too, and
Facebook Marketplace out of Managua. We've got a couple of beds and bits.
Okay.
And then, the local ferry and terrors seem to have all the construction gear you need within Kiwis.
All right.
You can make it work anyway, which is cool. I like the attitude here of fixing stuff and making it, making do with what's available and what you can have. It's always a solution, so it's not difficult. It's just,
Did you have to put a lot of work into the house?
we put a lot of work into all the houses. We had to put new roofs on and repair all the walls, and then a little bit of drainage work.
As an experience from working in New Zealand in a like project and doing it here, how have you been able to handle that? The logistics, the going through it, everything.
yeah.
easily.
Has it been an adventure?
We're-
Easily.
Easily. It's been
We're serial restorers.
restorers. Reparal de
We had
casa.
an old villa back in New Zealand, so we restored that, repainted it, refloored it actually in some areas.
Yeah, re-leveled.
But finding all the materials, dealing with whatever you've had to deal with, the elements, anything, it's all been pretty. You got it?
pretty normal.
Pretty normal.
And in a way easier because you don't have a lot of regulations and red tapes to go through.
Okay.
Which in New Zealand, if you want to do anything, it can
There's a
be
certain
quite
code
a
that
pain
you have to
going
deal
through
with
the
in New Zealand.
councils and the
Yeah.
engineers.
So I just listening, it sounds very similar to the U.S. that we have. If I wanted to put a shed in my backyard, I have to go through a lot of bureaucracy to make that happen.
Same, which I just wouldn't do in New Zealand. So I just wouldn't do what I wanted. But if you wanted to work on other sites and stuff and work with clients, it's a pain in the butt.
You had to be all.
Allure and the cooler. So it's been nice here. We expanded our kitchen, and it was just make the plan up and do it.
All right.
Same with repairing. So it's been nice, and you can do your own electricity and do your own plumbing.
You guys definitely have a big.
All of that, which is cool.
You have a big plot of land here. What's the plan? What do you guys plan on doing here?
We want to bring in camps of people to come and enjoy it for a week, 10 days. We're looking quite strongly at getting into global schooling groups and running a hub for global schooling, and then providing a cultural experience for them while they're here, like go and do a bit of fishing and see how the locals do it, some language, work through the cane field and that operation, quite local. The local nature reserve up the road, and do a crocodile look and a horse ride, learn something about the trees, and then probably do a rock drive from there to the volcanoes.
All right.
And just generally spend a week, 10 days with families on an immersion group, possibly longer too. We're just kind of figuring out the logistics for people and what people would like to do too.
That's awesome.
There are a lot of families that are traveling with their kids and doing schooling just experience-wise rather than classroom-based schooling. So we're hoping to become a hub for that in Kisela for people to come to from around the world.
A quick plug. I'll get a shot of the property and everything and put it up on our site and put some ways to contact you guys at the bottom if anybody reaches out.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
No. So,
hold on.
Yeah, well, we're working on a couple of the global schooling forums, which are big. They've got 100,000, 150,000 subscribers to different platforms.
Different Facebook groups.
Working through
quite a large
marketing and
I mean, since
options.
since 2020, the homeschooling option has definitely exploded, I feel. And I think there's so many more legit options today than there was. So I think, it's probably great. You guys probably have a lot going on.
Yeah.
And we've been homeschooling as well. So we we're understanding of their situation and where they're coming from. And
Doing it with the kids, how's that been? How are they doing?
Our son has been fine, and he's loving surfing and loving the whole vibe of getting into the heat of Nicaragua and that kind of thing. But my daughter, she took a lot longer to adjust and missed home. But she's starting to get into the language a lot. She's very good with languages, and she's made lots of friends now. So we are, it's a different different story with her. But no, she's coming around fine now.
So you said you are homeschooling them, but as far as a social life, not just for them, like how's that been for them? Not just for them, but for you. How's the social life been for everybody?
It's been a wee bit challenging in Kisala with our language barrier because we don't have Espanol or learning, and there's only Spanish-speaking people here. But having Grand Pacifica community in San Diego up the beach has been great. So we've been able to develop friendships, and then we have solid friendships down in San Juan del Sur with other Kiwi families and some Aussie families, Israelis. There's a big expat community down there, so we've found being able to, do a trip there and every month or so just to socialise down there has been good, and then being able to go up weekly to Grand Pacifica where the children have both got good friendships going on. Been enough to seemingly get that to work. So, and we're working now for school.
We have a neighbours just right beside us, Nellie and her family, a Nicaraguan family. We've sort of adopted them as like our auntie.
Okay, like a surrogate family.
Yeah, like a surrogate family, because we found out that her oldest son is on my birthday, and we just connected.
The stars aligned.
The stars aligned. She came over and helped us. It wasn't pushy. There was other people in the community, Nicaraguans, who were a bit pushy and wanted to be of service and stuff, but she was always very gentle and approached us genuinely.
All right.
So we've
your puzzle pieces matched.
We made a great connection.
It's been really good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
How did your friends and family at home take this when you told people like, "Hey, I'm moving to Nicaragua with the kids"?
You're like, where's that?
Where is Nicaragua?
Where is that? What?
It's in America.
Yes, America.
Central America. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of craziness, but
okay.
We've always been fairly into doing things not exactly how the masses do them, so it wasn't total surprising.
Okay. Is it easy to keep in touch? You guys still?
Yeah, very easy. Well, the beautiful thing with the internet is the Zoom and that, and being able to communicate. So that's been relatively easy, really. The environment's different, but
since you guys have been here, what has been some of the biggest cultural shocks that you've experienced? Anything that hit you like, whoa?
Heat. For me, I thought I was going to get a bit more shade or a bit more rain maybe, but it's really a dry heat in Nicaragua. But literally we came in March last year.
Oh my God, you landed in hell.
We landed in the oven. I felt
in the oven. You were baptized through fire, quite literally.
Oh my God. And I was like, what? Let's go home. Next country, quick.
too much.
That pool right there has been my lifesaver. So, I don't know, the food wasn't at what we expected. We probably expected more Mexican, like spices and so forth.
Yeah, Nicaragua's our food is good. It's amazing, but it's not like Mexico. It's a different type of thing, but where we smash it out of the park is our sweets.
Yeah,
oh, the sweets. You guys got to get on this.
Triangle bread.
The picos?
Yeah.
The picos are good. Cajadas are the little cookies that they make out of... we'll get there. I got you guys. Don't worry. I'm in with the sweets.
With the sugar.
Yeah, I'm in with the sugar. All right. So what does a typical day look like for you guys? What's the...
Well, from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, where we have the children in an international online school. So they are on Zoom classes, 2 o'clock for 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon.
Wow.
And Wednesday they have off. So yeah, they're in class in their room, and then that gives a whole family a routine.
Okay.
Up until till Christmas time, we've had, or just before Christmas, we've had workers here from 7 to 4 every day as well.
Yeah.
So, and there's a couple of workers have been helping Todd and the main builder contractor. So that's been our routine. And then this side of Christmas, it's just back into school. But so I've been chief cook and bottle wash sometimes.
Okay.
And but
And
also
cheap.
I usually had been going up to the markets and getting the food or getting bits.
What markets do you go to?
I go to San Rafael.
Okay. All right. How
Yeah.
far is that from here?
20 minutes.
Oh, it's so close.
Yeah.
For me, it's I got another half hour on that.
When we arrived in Nicaragua, we stayed in a hostel in San Rafael for a month and a half before.
Oh, so you familiarized yourself pretty much with the city. Okay, okay.
Yeah, so I know the mercado and
you get everything you want there, right? Anything.
Yes, yeah.
It's like a full city, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to shop there more than Managua. So,
yeah, I'm more familiar with Managua. I always had to go there once a week. So San Rafael, I know it, but not like you guys would know it.
It's good, yeah. It's as cheap as Managua too. A lot of
it's a great little city. It's just for me, it was always the opposite way because I had an attorney or I had somebody to talk to or something, doctor or something. So I got family, so it's always in Managua for me. But
my first 6 months routine was to get up and come and then just work with the guys working here. I kind of just oversee to a degree and do a lot of the
for about 6 weeks.
A lot of the finishing work and tidying, and then
I'll tell you, the property's gorgeous. Everything is amazing.
Well, they did the bulk of the plaster works and stuff like that.
It is gorgeous. Everything. Well, like I said, we'll take a shot. It's incredible.
And so and then this year's been a bit more relaxing on that, and then just doing small projects, just slowly finishing the tidying.
Have you been here for the whole year? Have you gone back to New Zealand?
No.
Do you get homesick at all?
I don't.
No.
For the people, maybe, but not New Zealand.
But not for the country. It's still all new and fresh here, so it's
and we've
exciting.
taken on another little project in helping the local school to learn English. So we do that on Wednesday mornings and Friday mornings at about 8 o'clock in the morning. And so we've gone up and we just make a small half-hour class.
You guys are involved in a lot of little projects then, huh?
Yeah, and then I was involved right at the beginning. So May, I think, when we had the first rains, I got involved with the community and helping picking rubbish off the beach.
Okay.
And that spurred on the community, and they saw this foreigner. I took some photos and put it in our local community WhatsApp site, and then they wanted to make a committee from that. So they were like, go. And so I got on the committee, and then that turned actually after about a month, it turned into the roading committee because the rains got so bad here that people couldn't drive in, and the entrance down to Kizala was so bad. So then it was talking to...
So the entrance into this place is on a dirt road?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. So it's cool. It's cool to know your beach town at the end of a dirt road has a nice little magic twinge to it. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Fun. It's got its pros and cons. Pros and cons.
But the brand new big carretera is going to go very close very soon. So
there's the main highway is going to go across just above on our terrace up here, so 500 meters away.
All right.
They've got the grader in at the moment, so we actually, part of our committee, engaged with the local council, and the mayor came down and investigated.
Oh, that's right. Are you guys working with the alcaldía? You're helping them out, right? Yeah. And how has that been as an experience, working with the local...
Well, it's been a lot of meetings. We've had Zoom meetings every 2 weeks.
Okay.
With just our committee.
But your communication, do you have any communication issues? How about this? Do you have any stories at all? Not just this particular issue, but any communication in general? How have you guys been doing with the Spanish?
I leave it to him. And I talk English, go blah, blah, blah in English, and I expect them to understand.
Laura's solely English to them. It's so funny. And they just
But does it work? I mean, you're communicating, right?
Yeah, they pick up on me. So I think they sincerely see that I really want to get some discussion going.
Okay.
And so I say, hey, what's that word? And then I try my little pidgin Spanish. So
Okay.
Laura's heart's fully open is what I'm told by the locals. all there, so no, not a problem.
I've
And
given
then I tried my
medicine
best.
to the locals, and I've given offers of whatever. There's coming some of the cool
right.
children, and
So communication isn't an issue. You make it happen.
Yeah, it works.
and,
It's working. Yeah,
All right.
Spanish is
and we give them
improving
rides up to
daily.
the main road. Whenever we're driving, we see somebody on the
Yeah,
path.
that's a thing here.
Hitch,
Yeah,
get on.
Is the hitching in New Zealand, is that a thing at all?
Yeah, that's a thing.
In America, they'll take you straight to jail. If you see somebody you try to hitch anywhere in America,
really?
it's not a thing in America. You know?
Yeah,
And plus, we still in the '80s there was this TV show called The Hitchhiker. So then, and that was the end of it. Everybody today, if you see a hitchhiker on the side of the road, I promise you, everybody in your car are going to be like, "Oh, that's a serial killer. Don't pick him up."
Yeah, we actually
ruined
had
it all.
we had a very interesting experience in Houston because we were there with Kennedy the dog for a week, and we were just walking, and realised that we were the only people that were walking.
Lived across the road from the mall, so we only
on
had
these
to walk.
huge roads, and we're wandering along with Kennedy once, and we went up at a mall, and this guy turns up and he's like, "Oi, oi, 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 oi." I said, "Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm Mark. The God told me to give you $100." And I was like, "Why?" He said, No, I seen you walking the other day, and then I saw you walking again today. And
Gladly accept $100.
Definitely. I'll give it to the kids.
Thank you.
Have a feed or something. I said, "Oh, that's all right. I'm really used to walking." I said, "No one walks around here."
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Quite exciting.
And it was. We actually literally saw nobody else walking.
Is it like that in New Zealand? So in America, you barely see the kids in the streets playing anymore. That's not like here the kids play out in the streets.
Yeah.
Like here, you drive anywhere and there's always people on the corner, and it's not like that in the States. It's very lonely.
Less in New Zealand, less and less, but there's still a little bit going on.
It was really, really normal.
Okay.
So with the advent of
same for
computer
us.
games, it's gotten a little bit less normal, but it used to be, just totally standard. And a lot of people walking, and a lot of people walking dogs or biking and stuff. So the roads are shared. Not quite as much as here with cows and horses.
Chickens.
One thing that also that we've connected to for the children was the volleyball league up in Grand Pacifica, so in California. So my kids love volleyball.
So the sports has been getting them in?
Yeah, so they really got into volleyball league last year, which was last, 3 months maybe.
And how are they doing with the language?
And so they've picked it up, but they also had a Canadian and some American friends, so they didn't speak a lot of Spanish
all right.
because of that. But they're coming round now.
All right.
They have taken Spanish lessons with their online schooling.
When we first moved here, I owned a hostel. And at my hostel, it was everybody spoke English. My rancho looked like the UN. It was Germany and Ireland, people from they all spoke English. So my wife didn't learn English for the first, 2 or 3 years she was here. And then she started playing softball, and she was the only gringa on the team. And in fact, bro, she's full language started pouring in after that. Yeah, full Spanish. But the first couple of years was tough. She was always surrounded by
foreigners.
Yeah, foreigners. So
that's what makes it tough here learning for me. I find this because the family only speaks English.
So it's their fault, definitely. I hear you.
Well, it's hard, even trying to play the radio in Spanish. It's like, no, turn that off. Like that's what you need is just more and more listening, because it's the hearing that's the problem.
So
actually making the word out for me.
If you could go back in time and you could tell yourself one thing from now, what would you tell yourself? Like if you go back before you did this and you could tell yourself one thing, what would it be as opposed to now?
In preparation to come.
In anything, if you're looking at yourself 2 years ago, what would you tell yourself? You now in reference to this.
It's going to take longer than you think to adjust.
That's a good one.
It would have been probably good to have learned a bit more language.
Spanish, okay.
Or how to pronounce it more than anything. Yeah. I speak Spanish to people and they just don't understand the word.
But it's a slang. It's a
Well, you got to remember where we are as well.
Yeah.
It's Nicaragua.
Well, no, I'm not even that. In the cities, they speak different. It's a more crisp. I'm sure it's the same thing. So in America, a guy talking in New York and a guy from Alabama, it's two different languages.
New Zealand, North
So
Island,
that's what I'm
South
saying. I'm
Island.
sure you guys have your own. It's the same thing in Managua. There's more of like a dialect, city dialect, which makes it more crisp. We're out in the farm. You know what I mean? We're out in the middle of nowhere out here, so their dialect is probably more.
Rapidol.
More slang to it, we'll say.
When we turned up here, the only furniture was the outdoor furniture, and so this place felt quite large and desolate in a way.
Okay.
So I miss those kind of creature comforts, and we didn't know a lot of people about where to go and get this stuff, and so it took us a long time to figure that sort of style, making this place a homely feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a steep learning curve, and I think it was a bit frightening, the state of the property for Flora, and Evie really
we pulled all the roofs off.
Looked a lot worse than it was, but it didn't look run down.
Okay.
The steps upstairs were falling down.
So the property in general is very, I'll tell you now, it's absolutely gorgeous, but it was pretty dilapidated at the time.
And all the pathways were cracked and broken, so we've redone all the pathways, all the patios.
Yeah, that caused quite a bit of anxiety that took a couple of months along with the heat for acclimatization.
What a wreck.
Myself, I was used to working outside in all temperatures, so I acclimatized really quickly.
Right.
Like within a week, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
And so you guys purchased this sight unseen, essentially?
Sight unseen, yeah.
Well, yeah, we had a Zoom video through,
okay.
A live Zoom through, so I could ask them, show me this, show me that. But I don't think it clicked on.
It's because you were in New Zealand. Grass is always greener, right? You're seeing the sun and the palm trees.
She saw a beautiful pool.
The pool, on the water, beachfront.
And an infinity pool, because you can just do laps around the sharks.
I think also the time.
Diego and Carlos.
The time. I thought, we'll be over and done with in a couple of months, But
okay.
No, that turned into a year.
Okay, there it is. All right.
But a lot of modifications and what you
And did you purchase this from New Zealand?
Yes.
And was that difficult? Was that hard?
No, that was
we had 2 weeks
simple.
to do it as well. So they said you got 2 weeks to get the money from there to there and signed, sealed, and all the rest.
That was relatively simple. We could do a power of attorney of representation through our friend Pascal, so she was able to sign the documents with the Alcadia and the previous owner.
Okay.
Gloria. Yeah,
so probably having somebody on the ground made it easier for you.
Yeah, having someone here on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, but apparently it's happened before too, where you can just even use the real estate agent to be a power of representation of attorney, and then so that was pretty simple. And then getting here, we just had to do the actual lease, because it's a leasehold property rather than a title ownership property. So that was very simple.
That's due to the leyes costañera, the coastal laws.
The coastal laws, so it's good, but it's cheap rent, $200 a year for rates, which I think is very cheap. Lucky.
So if a couple with kids were thinking about doing what you guys are doing right now, what would the advice be to them? What would you tell them? So young couple back in New Zealand is, hey guys, I want to live the life you're living. I mean, whoa, because this is really incredible.
Spectacular spot. Yeah.
What would you guys tell them?
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Learn a little bit of Spanish before coming.
Yeah.
Or get organised and make sure.
There has been. We've used certain bank accounts from New Zealand and cards, sort of thing, and understand how that process actually works, rather than just turn up and see if it works. So the finances, make sure you have that all figured out before you come, because we can't. A lot of expats who are here from America and the PayPal and all those kind of things work really well, but we don't have access to that so much in New Zealand through the bank account system.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
there's
it's a
those
little
kind of
bit
things
different.
just to be
So do
aware
your
of.
research into the financial aspect of how this is going to work out?
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and then how to pay your local builder, because until you get a bank account here, paying your builder in cash is quite difficult to get drawn a certain amount of money out every time.
Okay.
So because you've got restrictions on how much the banks will let
volumes and
or
that,
the volumes.
So your bank will allow you to take out X amount a day, and that's it. Type deal.
Yeah. Or month.
Yeah, a monthly limit.
Okay.
So
Below
yeah,
that,
just
yeah.
learn your finance situation.
Okay.
I would recommend.
And maybe even come for a recce first too. Just
Yeah.
Okay.
Check
you
it
know,
out.
do a
first.
trip,
Reconnaissance.
look, a reconnaissance trip, and yeah.
All right.
It may put you off though, you know. So
Yeah.
once you're here, you're
Right.
here, right? For us,
Yeah,
it was,
for us, it
I
was
knew I had to
deep
do it this
end.
way because I could easily turn around and.
So you sank the ships.
That's right.
All right.
burnt the bridge.
All
yeah,
aboard.
Yeah,
way
yeah,
over.
you sank the ships. Who did that? What's his name? Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually the dog, because I knew my dog had to get a rabies shot to get here, and to get him back, I knew he'd have to go
We
into.
got to fly to England to get Kennedy home out of Central America.
So it's a mission.
It's a
It's a
big
mission,
mission all of a sudden.
and then he's got to stay for I think it's 2 months in New Zealand quarantine. So it's
Hard
not
Not
amazing.
getting animals
no.
into New Zealand.
I would imagine you're an island. Same thing as Australia.
Yeah.
So
Really
that was our ship.
All right, there you go. Ship sunk. Okay.
But, we've now got him a girlfriend,
Fuchsia.
Nala, from Costa Rica, and so the two blue heelers are going to have puppies. And
Blue heelers, by the way, are Bluey dogs. The Bluey, the show. Bluey
Yeah,
dogs.
Bluey, yeah.
Bluey, yeah.
You'll get a photo of him later, but and so he's been the talk of the town. Everybody loves him.
Oh, he's Bluey, yeah, of course. He's awesome. I love both of them,
Yeah.
Kennedy and Nala. I remember when she was a little smaller. She's getting big now, but yeah.
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 So I mean, they're like our little heart thing in our family. Really, it's,
All right.
it's quite a special part of our lives.
A new life.
And
then Evie's adopted 2 cats.
I saw that. I met one of them earlier. Yeah.
So that was her thing. If we're going to come all the way over here, Mum, I want cats. Actually, I want 5. I'm like, start with a couple.
I mean, you guys have the lot for it. You know what I mean?
Space.
Yeah, you have the
And
space
she
for it.
loves them to bits. So it's been a really good thing for her to balance out her emotions and stuff.
That's awesome. And the last one I'm going to hit you guys with. Do you have that moment, that wow moment? Do you have that moment where you just stop and you look and you go, holy shit, this is my life? Wow.
When it comes to the sunsets here, and we're sitting up here with a margarita or a beers, and we go, oh my God, we'd never have this opportunity in New Zealand to have our house on the beach, and live here permanently and to have this experience. And I think that's pretty cool.
I think, well,
yeah, that's pretty
And
cool.
myself.
I'll tell you, for the kids, man, to have this.
And the kids can go do their schooling and zip out at lunchtime for a surf. Bingo.
I know. I came in and he was coming in with the surf. When I was just walking out here, he came in with a surfboard. I thought, what a good life, man.
All the school class and the teachers have our teacher interview, and teacher said, well, Tasman's a bit different to the other ones because he's kind of surrounded by nature. Goes for a surf before school, surfs at lunchtime, goes out after
Dude, what a
school,
life for a
just
kid. Are you serious?
doesn't-
Come on.
Not exactly tricky.
Props just for me to
Being
you
in the
guys.
city, yeah.
Props from me to you guys, man. Wow. That's the right thing, man. That's really cool. You got these kids out here doing this because this is a very special life they're getting to
stuck
live.
in the rat race in New Zealand, and Todd wouldn't see the kids a lot. Busy sad days quite often, and so there's got to be a different way.
We had nice property in New Zealand, so we're still in the bush and stuff, so never been much inside a city kind of person.
Closer to that than here, though, huh?
We had 10 acres.
More bush here because we had no neighbours. And only a kilometre from the ocean. So it wasn't like...
Well, everywhere's only a kilometer from the ocean in New Zealand. Stop it.
Within 100.
I'm in a kilometer from the ocean to the mountains. You guys have it. That's not fair.
But
it was cool. We had a
the
good
beach
spot
is
over
quite
there.
special. It's a beautiful long beach to walk the dogs on too, and there's rivers and there's interesting things like the fishermen. You don't get that so much in New Zealand. There's always something interesting and
very similar beach to where we lived in New Zealand. Actually, it was a big, long coastal bay too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice with a river really close, like our river down here, the Montellan.
but you don't get the fishermen.
So it's cool. We don't get whitebait here, which is
Well,
Anyway,
well,
Had
thank
lots
you
of
guys so
whitebait.
much.
No,
Thank you so much
very much.
for talking to me.
Thank
I
you.
wish you guys the very best, man.
yeah.
Wow, that was an incredible episode. That was so awesome. Flora, Todd, thank you so much. I wish you the very best. Nothing but positive vibes your way. For my viewer at home, I hope that that was pretty incredible. I hope that answered some of your questions, or at least gave you some insight into what our lives are like. If there's any questions, if you guys want me to ask my future guests anything at all, just leave it in the comments section and give me a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.